Caleb here, back with another rankings video. We're gonna zoom past these next couple positions. I got tight end in the O-Lineman, so the tackles, and then the interior. So it's a combination of some centers, some guards, some that play both. Start off with tight end. You see my number 5, just how I did last year. These are all gonna be top 5s. I do got some honorable mention tight ends for you. My 6 through 15, I guess. I got all these people. So 6 to 15, we got Tucker Kraft out of South Dakota State. 7, we got Payne Durham out of Purdue. Zach Kuntz at Old Dominion is 8. Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan, 9. Braden Willis from Oklahoma is my 10. Davis Allen from Clemson is my 11. Brenton Strange, Penn State. 12, 13, Josh Waugh from Cincinnati. 14, Cameron Latou from Alabama. And 15, Jaleel Billingsley from Texas. So, yeah. A lot of good tight ends in this class. I wanted to just name off people that I think is good. And if they turn out good, I can say, hey, I named them in a podcast. And somehow give me credit. But yeah, we're going to start with 5, Luke Musgrave out of Oregon State. The voice is getting better. It's still a little... Still got to clear it just a little bit, but I'm getting closer to 100%. In these podcasts, you'll see. You see the weight there. I got a projection as a 4th to 5th round pick. I haven't really seen a consensus of what people are going to think he is. But he has pretty good athleticism, good route runner, good enough hands. He's a receiving back, or tight end. That's why we got a little Dallas Goedert comp. He can work on his play strength and blocking. They kind of coincide with one another, but I like him. He's a fun prospect. He's going to be a good receiving, option, for anyone that needs that type. Hasn't played a lot, had some injuries, but yeah, I think he has a pretty good future ahead of him if he gets in the right system. Number 4, we got Sam Laporte out of Iowa. Got him again as a 3rd to 4th round. Well, not again, I guess. A round higher, if so. I think he's just more polished, more ready of a tight end. Iowa likes to make their tight ends. Good hands, good route running, pretty smooth, can get open, has good enough speed for a tight end. Lacks the catch radius, though, for a bigger guy. He rarely goes up and gets it. And then he can work on his blocking as well. Not really terrible, but it's not really a strength either. So I saw a Hayden Hurst comp. I said, I like it enough. Fuck it. Put it on the keynote. Stat. Number 3, we got Darnell Washington out of Georgia. Big fella. Got him as a 3rd round. He could be higher. He could be lower. I don't know. He's kind of a unicorn as well. Pretty good athlete. He's a just size, height and weight. He's a specimen, as they say. Very good blocker. Good soft hands. But he doesn't have the elite speed, which, if he did, it'd be cheating. At this size, you really expect him to be, DK Metcalf at tight end. But good speed, not great speed, and he can clean up his route running, just get his techniques better, be more crisp when cutting and stuff. I saw Mercedes Lewis comp. Liked it a lot. Again, I said write that down on the keynote. So yeah, I think it would be a good for a team that uses 12 personnel, especially. Then we got Dalton Kincaid out of Utah, another receiving back coming back to receiving back or tight ends. Dear God, why am I saying backs? I don't know. The H back, the Y back, I guess technically the tight ends could be that. Got him as a 2nd round pick. I'm high on him a lot, as most people are. He's some people's number 1s. I wouldn't argue. Very good catch radius, probably the best out of this tight end class. Just throw it up and he'll get it. Toughness, very tough, gritty player. Was a captain, played through injuries. You'll love to see it. He has all the intangibles. Can clean up his blocking, and just not the smoothest route runner. Not that it's terrible, but again, just like with Darnell, just clean it up. Really try to get separation and attack the routes. Nothing too bad. We got a good Zach Ertz comp, just like Kincaid. Ertz wasn't the most technical sound route runner, but he got open and he made plays, which Dalton Kincaid will in this league, I fully believe. And number 1, we got Michael Mayer of Notre Dame. He's just the best, or the most complete tight end. That's why I have him number 1 for me personally. I could see him sneaking in the first round, but he is a tight end, so second round would be great value. The perfect blend of blocking and a sure-handed tight end. He lacks the elite speed, good enough route runner as well, but he lacks the speed you might want, and then the yards after the catch is left to be desired. Don't expect him to riddle off 20-yard gains after the catch. So, but I see Jason Witten comps. I agree. It's high praise, but I think he will be that sure-handed of a pick. I think he has a very high ceiling. Or not high ceiling, a high floor. Well, I guess a high ceiling, too. Be a fucking Hall of Fame tight end as I'm comparing him to. But, yes. So now we're going to the tackles. I have some honorable mentions as well as you see my number 5, my boy DeJuan. 6 through 10 for my tackles, I got Anton Harrison, Oklahoma. Jalen Duncan out of Maryland. He used to be like projected highly. He's dropped down in a lot of people's boards, and I guess mine too, but I still think he can be a productive player. You can get in the later rounds. Cody Mach out of North Dakota State, who everyone loves because he doesn't have front teeth. Matthew Barragon out of Syracuse, and Blake Freeland out of BYU is my 6 through 10. So that's that. You guys know how I am on tackles. I don't really scout them. I don't care that much. They're very important. You need them. And, you can always see a bad tackle. Like, you can always see a bad lineman, but it's hard to really appreciate the good lineman. And I just don't have the time and patience to watch film on tackles and the B gaps. So, some of these guys like DeJuan, I've watched their whole career, so I know more about them than others. Other people, I just, word of mouth. I just don't, I don't, go off. It's your prerogative if you're this lineman expert. Congratulations, folks. It's just too boring for me personally. I'd rather endlessly watch shit and argue about CJ's upside and his accuracy and receivers and shit like that. So yeah, DeJuan Jones, Ohio State. Got him as a first or second round pick because he's been getting a lot of buzz this off season. Very good strength and length. Whoa there. I mean, his wingspan's insane, so, he can grab and attach on to, D lineman. He lacks the range, though, that you'd want in the movement. It takes a while for him to get going and to reach the second level. I've seen some comparisons of Orlando Brown Jr. I say, fuck it. Who cares? Because they both have footwork issues, per se. That was the main gist of why they're compared together. So, there's that. Number 4, I got Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. I got him as a second-round pick. Maybe 6 in the first. I don't know. I don't know how needy these tackle people are. How tackle needy these teams are. But anyway, has good technique, good with the hands, good play strength. Good blocking, obviously. Lacks the bend, though, not the most athletic in footwork. He needs to coordinate his feet just a little bit to slip in there, get in some spots. I saw a player comp of DJ Fluker, former first-round pick from Bama in like 2010-ish. He was in the NFL. So, anyway, that was the comp. Most of these comp for the linemen have been from NFL.com or the Draft Network. Yes, number 3, we got Broderick Jones out of Georgia, first-round pick. Pro is athleticism, physicality. He's probably the most athletic tackle in this here draft class. Probably just lineman in general. Yeah, very good athlete. Can do the stretches and whatnots. Can push the D in off course. Good physicality. He's always going to fight every play. Not have any plays off. Lacks the technique and footwork. Just the combination of the hands and feet, and getting the placements up in the guts and whatnots. Is this bullshit working, folks? Got a player comp of Andrew Thomas, first round pick. out of Georgia, ironically enough, now doing good things in the Giants. At the Giants, he's one of the people that are somehow making others think Daniel Jones is competent as a quarterback. So you'd love to see that. Number 2, we got Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern. Got him as another first-round pick. Good technique, good versatility. He can play guard if need be, which people say he might have to do because he has a length, like a hand's length issue, and he delays a little bit on the timing. Sometimes he can get beat by the rusher, and he doesn't get a hand on him. Saw Zach Martin comp, and he was a pretty good tackle, and I think he's another high floor guy. I don't see him being a complete bust, so I said fuck it, put it down. And I think he'll just be, at the very minimum, a solid starting tackle, which you need in this league. But number 1, I got my boy Paris Johnson Jr. Very biased, I know, folks. I've had 3 Ohio State guys be my number 1 positions, with Jackson Smith and Jigba, and then CJ being my 1A, 1B guy with Bryce. Sumi, I think he's just the most complete player. Good enough athleticism and versatility. He played guard a lot for us, but he lacks the leverage and the balance, coordination, getting the hip movements, all that jazz that I think people are talking about when they say that. So sure. Good comp is Charles Cross. Last year, of course, got drafted by the Seahawks. Was pretty good. Will probably be even better this year, and I think Johnson will have a similar trajectory in his career. So now we're doing interior linemen. These are center and guards. I do not have honorable mentions because I just want to get this video out, and this is a combination of center and guards, so it's like, I didn't want to. I'm lazy, folks. I take years off on podcasts. You guys get it. John Michael Schmitz out of Minnesota. Got him as a 3rd, 4th round pick. I may be low on him because a lot of people I'm seeing are high on him, but just the other people I know more personally, and I've seen more of their work, so that's why I have them ahead of him. But he has good strength, good balance, barely gets, pushed back a lot, lacks the length, which most centers do, so I guess that's a thing to worry about. And timing, again, like with Peter, sometimes could be late on, once he snaps it, gets up, and, someone already has busted through the A-gap, and, linebackers tackling Ibrahim for a tackle for a loss, or trying to, because he's a very strong runner. But anyway, we got a Ben Jones comp, center guard for the Titans for a long time. I don't know if that's good or not, but I think he'll be a starter for multiple years at least at the center position. Then we got my boy Luke Whippler out of the Ohio State. Another center, another 3rd or 4th round pick I see. Very good technique, good with the hands, good with the hips. When I dip, you dip, we dip. Lacks the length again, and strength on power blitzes and power, like, run stops. He could sometimes, get pushed back a little bit. But he had a really good game against Georgia, against Jalen Carter. That's probably a big reason why he left early. It was kind of a surprise for us that he did so, but we got a Garrett Bradbury comp as well. Again, I think he's a guy that you can plug in, get some good years out of him at least. So there we go. We got him as my 4th. Number 3, I got Steve Avila out of TCU. Got my 3rd round pick. Could be higher, could be lower. There wasn't really consensus, so I just split the middle. Good strength, good versatility. Played guard as well as center, so he can do a little bit of both. Lacks the range and bend. Not that flexible as an athlete. I don't know. Needs to get more loose. We got a Chris. This comp, I think they're racist on NFL.com just because he's a Samoan. But Kimeatu had a pretty long and good career. So, at guard, and maybe played a little bit of center. I primarily knew him as a guard. But yeah, I think he can have a very similar career. So I said, fuck it. Whatever NFL.com tells me on these comps, I don't, sure, fuck it. Number 2, I got Andrew Voorhees out of USC. Didn't put it on there, but you can see it. Got him as a second round pick. Could be higher, could be lower again. I'm not too tuned on these projections. It's just if you really need a lineman at the position you're in. But plays with very good strength, very good versatility. He played tackle as well as guard at USC. Had an ACL tear though, so we'll see if that deters people from picking him, which kind of affects his agility there. He's not the quickest on the pulling and whatnots, and can work on the technique and the hands and movements and all that jazz. Got a Tevin Jenkins comp. He's trying to get better at the Bears. We'll see how it is. I won't say he was terrible, but maybe isn't progressing as some people thought. I was very high of him, at least when he came out of Oklahoma State. So we got USC there, and then we got a Florida boy with Osiris Torrance out of Florida, as I said. I can see him sneaking in the first round, the later end, if you really need a guard. Or the second round, plays with physicality, good high motor, good hands, powerful hands, gets up in you. Lacks the range, though, and the agility that you would need. Player comp, I left it blank, folks. I was that fucking annoyed. I saw Tyree Phillips. I was like, who's that guy? I don't know. But we'll put him there. We'll put Tyree Phillips. You guys are seeing a behind-the-scenes look. This is how much I really cared about the lineman. So, yeah. That's that, folks. For my interior people on the line, tight ends, O-Linemen, and guards, I promise for the next position group, it will be more articulate and more analysis written. At least I know tight ends, folks. Anyway, this has been your boy King Kaleb here, as always, signing the fuck out.